Dude, no way.
Okay.
Welcome, everybody. First episode.
First episode of Dude, Look It Up.
Dude, look it up. I mean, that's what we always say.
Yeah.
If we get into our conversations about
long random talks. I'm Devon.
Long random talk. I mean, dude, at the fires, at JB's, we got conversations around the table at lunch. Things that all dudes experience with their buddies. What do you guys talk about? You talk about
like end of the world stuff.
End of the world scenarios.
You know, like
movies coming out.
Like what would you do? Would you rathers? You know, just random stuff.
This podcast is just going to be the talks that happen behind the scenes.
Yeah, basically.
We're going to expose them.
Basically, all we're going to do is we're going to choose a topic. We're going to say, dude, look it up. Do research on the fly. Some very shallow research. And then form a decision, an opinion or whatever on that. You know, just as two dudes do.
Exactly. So we're going to kind of run through what like the schedule and agenda is going to
I think we should say who we are first.
The podcast? What?
I think we should say who we are first.
Okay, yeah. Let's introduce ourselves.
Okay. Well, my name's Devon. You know, I play guitar, other stuff like that. Me and my fellow host, the actual original creator of the podcast, I'm kind of just here. And he is...
I'm Colin. And I guess I will talk about what I do other than this. We're both freshmen in college right now. We go to OU, Higher University, and I've never been into the audio world, but here we are, and it's gonna be fun. But
yeah, our setup's a little interesting right now.
We are actually currently in our dorm room, Perkins Hall,
Perkins 203. You know how it is.
And this is probably where we're gonna be for a while.
Oh, for sure, for a while.
At least until the next semester.
Yeah, I mean, hopefully, production quality go up a little bit. But
yeah, I don't know if you guys can see right now, but we have about like 7 or 8 books stacked up with my microphone on it and a beanie over top.
Yeah, the classic black Carhartt beanie over top of the microphone to not pick up my mic.
Yeah, we were having a really hard time kind of getting even this rigged set. Getting it to work was pretty hard.
Yeah, we had trouble.
Yeah, we're for anybody who's not watching the video, we are sitting at a wooden table that we got from the storage room in our dorm.
We didn't get it. We stole it.
We may have stolen it.
We stole it from the storage room. We asked our RA if there was a table we could borrow, and he said, yeah. He said, no, there's no folding table. There's a table down there, but it's kind of small. He didn't really give us permission to take it, but
here we
took it because we did not have any other options.
Yeah, and we got books stacked. We got
like 4 books stacked on top of each other on the table with a microphone and then a beanie over top of the microphone. It's
hopefully will increase value with time, but in the meantime, we're just having fun. And we're making it work. So
yeah, doing the best we can.
So I guess we'll run through the schedule now. So the plan, at least tentative schedule, we're gonna try to put out an episode 4 times a month, with each episode coming out on Friday. So the first episode of the month, we kind of want to do just what we're doing today, which is just a discussion. We'll pick a topic that me and Devin find ourselves talking about not on the podcast, and we're touching back on just to document, or a topic that we haven't discussed yet and we want to talk about for the first time. And then I guess you can kind of tell them, Devin, about what we want to do on the second week.
So second week, is my favorite week. Second week of the month is bracket week, a little tournament week. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna pick, it's like 8 similar people, characters, celebrities, whatever, and then put them in a bracket. And then we're gonna research like their stats or whatever, and
We may have done this one time before.
yeah,
In an unreleased, pre-episode, whatever you want to call it. We did a trial run.
yeah, we did a little trial run. We had like 8 famous Kevins, all fighting to the death, like one-on-one at a time.
Yeah, who'd we have? We had Kevin Bacon, Kevin Spacey,
We had Kevin Costner,
Durant, Costner.
yeah, and Kevin Hart. Kevin Durant actually won the whole thing. We got into a pretty long debate on whether Kevin Durant would win against Kevin Hart, and you might think it's like kind of an easy decision, but like what you really got to think about,
Think about the
Kevin
agility of that man.
Kevin Hart's kind of ripped, dude. He's kind of shredded.
Kevin Hart, dude, if Kevin Hart was 6 inches taller, he'd be a gladiator.
So Kevin Hart is, for those who don't know, is 5'2", which shocked me.
I didn't know
thought
he
he was
that
taller than
short.
that.
I knew he
yeah,
was short.
5'2" is tiny.
that comes into play in a fight.
Oh,
Like,
for sure.
5'6", you're good.
Yeah, I think
I don't think that 5'6" to 5'10",
Yeah,
that
I
big of a
think
difference. But as soon
you'd
as
put
you
up
drop
a
below,
fight. So Kevin Durant is 6'10", 240, with an 18-foot size. So once we learned that information, it was kind of like the debate was over. I mean,
that was the end of that bracket.
Yeah,
Kevin Durant won that one.
Kevin
But,
Durant won that one.
Yeah, that's kind of a good example of what we want to do, is where we'll have like a bracket, and who even knows what the topic of the bracket is going to be. It could be
random.
characters, legitimate people,
Yeah,
celebrities.
This upcoming bracket, the first one we're gonna post is it's gonna be a bracket between all of the characters Keanu Reeves has portrayed that is named John or Johnny. So that one's gonna be pretty good because there's a lot of them that can fight.
And I guess we can kind of decide this, but will the bracket be? What will it be? And what kind of competition will they be in?
Oh yeah, that's true.
Will
It
they
doesn't
be
have to be
fighting?
fighting. We could do something.
Will they be? I mean, we could switch it up. We could make
Yeah.
it like
There's a lot of potential.
who
there.
would be a better bowler?
Ooh, okay.
Who would be a better? You name it.
Who's got the best
Who
40
could do
yard?
this better than this person? Literally
Yeah.
anything. I guess we can kind of decide that in the future, but
Yeah, that's a good question. I wonder who has a better 40-yard, Kevin Durant or Kevin Hart.
yeah, I guess yeah. We can always go for things that are so obscure that they're not even like physical
Who
talents.
would be the better cooker?
Yeah, who's the best at cooking a burrito?
I guess that's true, yeah.
All right, so then that's the second week of the month.
Yeah. And then on the third week, we're going to do another like discussion like the first week, like this one. Not exactly like this one. Yeah, this is the first episode. We're kind of just introducing things. We'll go off on a tangent or two, kind of just conversating, having our random talks. But on the third week, what are we doing the third week, Colin?
Third week, we are gonna have a second discussion. So it'll be the same topic,
fourth
but the
week,
same
fourth week.
format as the first week. So it'll just be a second discussion episode of the month, and we're just gonna be like before, choosing a either random or predetermined topic, and just talking about it. It's whatever we're interested in, happen to be interested in that week, and whatever we think we can fit into an hour episode.
Yeah.
And then the fourth week, we're switching it up a little bit. What are we
Guest
doing the
week.
fourth week?
Guest week's on the fourth week.
Guest week. Yeah, we're gonna invite like friends from college. Dude, imagine if we got professors. Imagine if we
my
got a
gosh.
professor on the mic.
I would love to have
We get Alfred Lint.
my philosophy professor Alfred Lint, who
We
looks
get
like
Alfred Lint here.
he looks like, what is his name? Hold on, let me
Pull this man up.
let me look it up, dude. Look it up, style. I think his name's Geddy Lee.
Geddy Lee.
Yeah, Geddy Lee, the bassist and singer for Getty with a E for Rush. He looks exactly like him, but with just white hair, and always wears.
You should look him up. I think he's on
White.
Google. Look
Alfred
up Alfred
Lent?
Lent. That man is astute.
He is
He is
very
a
astute.
studious man.
Alfred J. Lent. Ancestry.com. Born
Ancestry.
1871. No,
Let's
not
track
that
him.
one.
Let's track his
Not that
bloodline.
one. Images. I'm not seeing anything on
Alfred
images.
Lent's a great guy.
Oh yeah, he's an awesome guy. Very, very smart man.
Definitely facilitates learning about philosophy. Yes, he's a philosophy professor here at OU.
Oh yeah. Bill 1010. Intro to philosophy.
Dude, if we could get him on here, imagine the conversations we could have.
That'd be insane. That would be such a good
He'd be
conversation.
sitting here sipping his coffee.
I know.
He's
loves
always
his
talking
coffee.
about his
He
coffee.
was like, let me think about that and take a swig of my Joe.
Dude, we get on like, dude, if we got Fraser Nyasulu,
That would be another good one.
that would be awesome.
Who's Nyasulu?
Fraser? Okay. Anybody who doesn't know, Fraser is one of the professors here. He's my chem lab. What do they call him? He's just a lab professor,
lab
I guess you could
instructor?
say. He's a lab guy.
Just like a lab instructor?
He just does lab. He taught one lecture last semester, but he's usually just a lab guy. Dude, that dude is hilarious. Dude is hilarious.
He seems pretty hilarious from what I've seen of him.
Dude, a professor would be like, that's the goal, bro. We
Yeah.
have to get a professor.
That-
At least one. I
That
don't
would
even
be
care
pretty
who.
good. I'll email Lent. I'll send him an email, see what we can get going on.
See what we can
'Cause
do.
he has
Devin's got his
recording stuff.
inside connections.
Yeah, I had him. I'll email him, explain him the scenario. I'm sure he'll love that. Oh, dude.
Dude, we
could
start talking
have-
philosophy?
Yeah, we could have like a philosophy discussion about
Heck yeah.
theory of life, and because he teaches ethics too. So
Be on the
So there.
lookout. 4th episode of the month.
yeah,
An interview, Alfred J. Lent.
yeah, that's
I don't
gonna
even
be
know
good.
his real middle name. What is his name?
I don't know. It's Jay. That's all I know. All right, so we're approaching 12. We're at 12:30 right now. You know, we're probably getting close to about 13 minutes on the video. So let's go ahead and start the main topic for today.
Yeah, we're gonna move on to we're gonna try to keep it about 15 minutes. 15 minutes in, we'll start moving towards the main topic, whether it's an interview, discussion, or bracket.
Yeah.
So, what are we talking about today, Devin?
Well, as the first discussion of the podcast, I think it's fitting because this is something we kind of talk about this a lot. I think it's fitting that we
get
talk
on
about interstellar travel.
interstellar travel. Meaning, what is the definition of interstellar travel?
I
That way
don't know.
we get this right.
Look that up, yeah. I was watching the movie Interstellar last Saturday, and it got me thinking. And if you really think about it, I mean, I'm sure I'm not going to explain the plot of Interstellar because if you haven't seen it, then what are you doing? Spoilers, because I probably will
Such a
say
good
something about
movie.
the end, but it is a fantastic
It
movie.
is mind-boggling.
Mind-boggling.
So the definition of interstellar just means between two stars. Anything occurring between two stars is considered like an interstellar event.
So
I guess.
technically, Earth is
So,
an
yeah.
interstellar event.
If you're traveling between two stars, you'd be like that's considered interstellar travel.
Okay.
So that's like, I mean, the closest star is how far?
I
I don't
mean,
even know.
not-
Even the closest star to us, I mean, not counting the sun, the closest star to us is pretty far.
Pretty
so
far.
that's technological speaking, that's pretty distant
yeah.
in the human
So-
timeline.
The point I brought up was eventually our sun is going to explode, and if we even last that long on the Earth, like, you know, if we don't either wipe each other out, or if the entire like atmosphere doesn't just go away, collapse.
A
Daggum-
volcano underneath
ozone layer.
Yellowstone doesn't blow us up.
Yeah, you know, Earth is doomed. There's no saving this planet, and even if we could, quote unquote, save the planet, the sun will blow up eventually. So we gotta find a way
Yeah.
to move on to another solar system.
Eventually. At some point, we're going to have to. Because our solar system isn't going to stay. We're not going to stay in the Goldilocks zone for that
Oh,
forever. We got to move
no.
out of here. But I kind of brought this point up. And I heard this Neil deGrasse Tyson brought this up. Whenever he was talking about Elon Musk and his goals to go to Mars and colonize Mars. If we have the technology to terraform Mars, why don't we just terraform Earth? That's a pretty decent point. And me and Devin talked about this earlier. We were walking to go get some food, and he actually brought something up that makes a lot of sense. You were talking about how even though like we are going to have to, like, if we go to Mars, it's still in our solar system. Eventually, the sun is going to explode.
Yeah.
So we need to go to other solar systems,
Mars?
ones that are either younger or not. We know when they're going to explode.
Yeah, Mars is just a stepping stool, or like a stepping stone or whatever. Like,
Yeah.
It's not the end goal. I mean, there's like there's nothing on Mars. So I just did a quick little search. The Earth is estimated to be about 4.5 billion years old, and we have 5 billion years until it explodes from now. So technically, we're like,
yeah, we got a little bit, but in reality,
5 billion years. You're like, oh, that's a long time.
Yeah, but like think about the challenge that we have.
Yeah.
How long did you say? How many billion years?
5 billion years until the sun explodes.
Okay,
On a
5
quick
billion
Google
years
search.
to come up with some type of way to go to another habitable solar system.
It's gonna run out. The sun's gonna run out of hydrogen. So
we need to make a really big hydrogen generator. Start pumping that puppy up.
Hydrogen generator. Keep feeding the sun hydrogen. I mean, I guess that is true. Technically.
Have you heard what Elon said?
What did he say?
He was like, you can probably look it up. He said, I don't want to misquote him, but he was talking about artificial nuclear reactions on the poles of Mars.
Huh.
And that could in some way heat it up to the point where it would be habitable.
That's true. Yeah, that's what I was thinking. I mean, I guess we don't have until the sun runs out of hydrogen. I guess, I mean, in 5 billion years, I'm sure we're going to find some way to make the Earth habitable without the sun. I mean, like, surely there's something that we can do.
Yeah, let's see what he said here. Okay. Musk has championed the idea of launching nuclear weapons just over Mars' poles. He's been saying this since 2015. And he believes it'll help warm the planet and make it more hospitable for human life. Okay, so the idea is to release CO2 trapped inside Mars ice caps. Okay, so there's ice caps. I didn't know that.
Yeah. Oh, you didn't know that?
I didn't.
Yeah,
I mean, I knew that there was ice, but I didn't know that they had like whole ice caps.
Oh yeah, yeah. There's frozen water found on Mars,
Dang,
which is crazy.
Okay. That's actually kind of promising.
I actually heard that they found liquid water.
I want to know how he plans to just nuke the poles. Like, I'm assuming it would be.
I'm not sure.
In the atmosphere or something.
In 2018, scientists reported the discovery of a subglacial lake on Mars, 1.5 kilometers below the southern polar ice cap. And it's about, horizontal extent of about 20 kilometers, or about 12 miles. A 12-mile lake?
A lake? Like liquid?
Frozen.
Like underground, though?
Yeah. It's 1.5 kilometers. How far into the Earth's crust have we gotten? How far? Like
how far is the deepest hole?
Yeah,
on Earth.
Yeah, basically. I mean, have we gone? I'm sure we've gone down a mile.
That's a good question. Deepest hole on Earth.
I'm sure we've gotten down a mile, right? The Earth's crust cannot be only a mile thick.
Deepest hole on Earth. It's saying. Wow, about 23,000 feet. It's called the Kola Well.
22.
7 kilometers deep, dude.
Yeah.
So, but I feel like that's how deep are these lakes, underwater lakes?
1.5.
We got that.
That's easy. That's
easy money. Got this, boys.
Every day of the week, twice on Sunday.
When does Elon say that we're gonna get to habitable, like be able to send people to Mars?
Like get to Mars or like live on Mars?
Like get people there.
Like
the first people on Mars.
The first people on Mars. I want to say 2025, but I don't know if that's correct.
Dude, I hope that we live to see that.
Oh, I'm sure we will.
I really hope so. Dude, I want to be that guy. I don't think I'm on the right track, though.
Oh, yeah, me too. I would love to. If they asked me if I wanted to go to Mars.
Dude, that guy is going to,
Mid-2030s is what
whoever
they say.
they send to do that, he's going to be like, he's going to be a test tube baby. He's going to be
Yeah.
born to do that.
Oh, yeah,
They're
for
going to
sure.
know it whenever he's born.
Yeah,
This
I
is
mean,
the guy.
if NASA just asked me, it's like, dude, no one else wants to go to Mars. Do you want to go? I'd be like, dude, sign me up any day of the week. Maybe even twice on Sunday.
Twice on Sunday. That is a
maybe twice
classic
on
Devon
Sunday.
quote.
Yeah, I like that. But this says thehill.com. I don't like that. What does NASA say?
So Mars is like the stepping stone to interstellar space travel.
Yeah, Mars is like, if you think about like the grand scheme of like what we need to do to survive as a human species, Mars is literally nothing. I mean, yeah, it's like the
Yeah.
first step. It is the first step.
Yeah, I mean,
I
because
don't even
we're not
think going
even
to the moon counts.
Yeah.
The moon's like a couple blocks away.
Yeah. Yeah, if you believe that truly happened.
Well, I don't know.
But like if you think about it though, yeah, Mars, man, that's just one planet away in one solar system.
Yeah, that's like nothing. Can we go back to that moon topic? 'Cause I just want to say,
Circle
I
back.
think it is absolutely absurd how we made it to the moon with computers that are equivalent to a modern day calculator, and we're about to
Not even a good
implement
calculator.
literally like chips in your brain that you can like talk to each other, and we haven't made it to Mars yet. I know it's a long distance, but that doesn't sound right to me.
I don't even understand how we figured out how to do Bluetooth, man.
Yeah, this guy doesn't even understand Bluetooth.
I mean, I looked it up. I did look it up, and I figured it out. But still,
Isn't it just like radio waves?
I'm pretty sure it's something similar to radio waves, and it just sends ones and zeros. Same
Yeah,
way
that
that
makes
you,
sense.
I guess, same way you would in like a wire or something.
Yeah,
But
like,
it's just waves instead of, and like the different waves that I guess represent zeros and ones, and they
Yeah.
communicate like that between the antenna and the transmitter.
well, yeah. Binary. All it is like 1 and 0 is off and on,
Yeah.
and like high state, high flow state, low flow state. So like a high wave is considered 1, a low state is considered 0, or like a low wave. So yeah, that
Like,
makes sense.
the fact that humans figured that out,
But we can't get to Mars.
but we can't get to Mars, dude, we
The
got
fact
a
that we-
long way to go.
When did Bluetooth come out? Like mid 2000s.
Yeah, I'd say like early
Yeah, early
like,
2000s.
early like
Teens.
You think?
I would think
don't
like
know. No, wait. There were people with the Bluetooth headsets
Yeah, I
in
would
like
think, like,
08.
I was about to say 08.
I'm gonna
yeah,
say
I'd
08.
I want
Let's
to say
look it up.
05.
When was Bluetooth? You're me to
I got
look up
50
guy
cents
because
on
these books
05.
are in my way.
When?
Yeah, man.
Oh my
Mars
gosh.
is close, but I think that's gonna be
In
the biggest accomplishment of our
1994,
lifetime in humanity. I think.
1994, he laid the foundations for the system that would be later known as Bluetooth wireless technology. Jap Hartstein.
So they had like working Bluetooth in '84.
Well, like the foundation of what Bluetooth was. I mean, I
Okay.
guess maybe working Bluetooth, but like it wasn't popularized in the
Yeah.
2000s. I know that for a fact.
Dang.
But like, okay, that was 1994. How did we get someone on the moon in the 60s?
I don't know, man. Everyone that did it's dead, so
Well, no, I mean,
Can't really
I mean,
ask
maybe
him.
everyone that worked on it. I mean, Armstrong's still alive, isn't he?
yeah.
Armstrong, or is Aldrin alive too?
I don't know. Is Armstrong still alive?
I think
He
Armstrong's
might be
still
something like
alive.
dummies right now. I don't know. Is he? I know that Buzz Aldrin is. I think he's going.
Oh
kinda
no, he died in
crazy.
2012. All right, my bad. In
Buzz
Cincinnati.
Aldrin's still alive.
I know
that for a
that's
fact.
who I was thinking of. Buzz. Yeah, Buzz is still alive. Yeah, I don't know. Maybe ask him. Be like, hey man, did you actually go to the
Just
moon?
have him on.
But yeah, it was a little off topic. But
Anyway,
yeah, Mars is the like first step we need to take to get anywhere. I mean, I'm
Yeah.
not like we're okay. Granted, we're both not like
we're nincompoops.
yeah, we don't have any sort of like aerospace background.
no,
or
not at all.
astrology.
This
Well,
is
not
just what we
astrology,
talk about.
Yeah. This is like what we think of. But like, I like to think that I'm like, mildly above average intelligent man and
Yeah.
have the cognitive thinking to realize that,
You have processing ability.
yeah, I mean, I have at least an i5 in my head, at least.
You at least have
So-
intaken information at some point on this topic.
Yeah.
You are at the baseline. We both are.
The
So,
absolute baseline.
all right, we're at Mars. Okay, now what do we do? We
Okay.
can't go land on, you know,
So
we're not. I don't think we're gonna be able to go anywhere else in our solar system. I think we're gonna have to go somewhere like.
Oh no, I don't think anywhere else in our solar system is even like remotely habitable. I think once you get like past Mars, it's just too cold.
Yeah, I think that we're after Mars. I think we're gonna have to start looking for
So-
Interstellar.
Yeah, like I would think that the Earth is doomed. We can't live on the Earth anymore, so we move to Mars, and like I don't know, like hang out there for a bit, and then we got to figure out something to do. I just don't think that. I mean, I guess the real question is,
How well is this Elon thing gonna work?
well,
Because if
no,
it works well, we could probably do it to like other like rocky planets in our solar
yeah,
system.
well, I was thinking more of like, how long do we think we're gonna survive as a human species? Do you think we would make it 5 billion years? Do you think
Dude,
we'll
I don't
evolve
know. I don't
past-
think so.
I don't think so.
I think that an asteroid's gonna take us out.
I don't even think
mean,
we're
we
gonna
are-
make it off Earth.
What is it?
I don't even think we're gonna make it off Earth. I think we'll
Yeah.
go into total nuclear winter by the year 2065.
Who knows, man?
Yeah.
Like honestly, at this point, who knows?
Because like as soon as like, it's such a regression. Like as soon as we go into war, technology increases and stuff like that. I mean, like we innovate.
Yeah.
But if the U.S. is like shut down in any way, like we fall as a country, that's it.
Yeah.
Like there is no more.
I don't know, man.
Because like we're not gonna be worried about, okay, now we need to get off Earth. We're gonna be worried about, we need to be able to live. I mean, I
Yeah.
guess that's kind of the point of Interstellar, in the movie, where there's like a second coming of the Dust Bowl or whatever, but it's like huge this time, and they can't grow crops, and they're gonna starve and suffocate in dust. And so they're like, well, we need to figure out how to fix the planet. And then NASA has to work in secret because they realize that they're not fixing the planet.
Mhm.
They got to leave it. My favorite quote ever from that movie, and probably one of my favorite movie quotes of all time, is, humans were born on Earth. They weren't meant to die here.
That's true. Like we are the only species that we know of that even has the ability to think of anything other than ourselves.
Yeah.
I mean, not think of
Put
anything
that in
other than
your pipe
ourselves,
and
but think
smoke
of anything other than our planet.
Yeah, like
To even think about the moon.
we're the only. I don't want to say the only creature or the only species ever, because like who knows? There
Yeah,
could have
who
been a
knows,
species
man.
before us that.
And who knows what species are living or coexisting in the universe with
Yeah,
us.
that's true.
Dude, like
true.
as soon as we do figure out a way, and I guess we can get into theoretical ways on how we could do interstellar travel, like methods of that,
Mm-hmm.
but that's like totally outside of
Oh,
at
that's
least
so
my
outside
expertise.
Of my. Yeah.
But
I mean, I'm
we'll
a
get
business
into it.
I'm
'cause that's
a
what we do.
business major.
We get into it. We start
do a
talking
little-
about stuff
Do
we
a little
don't know
research, a couple Google searches.
about. Yeah.
Um,
Yeah, so how would we even go about it? Like, on the most on a limb theoretical
on
thought.
a limb.
How
So
would
you-
we
you
how
want me
would we go about it?
You just want me to go on like a shot in the dark?
I already told you about what I thought.
Okay. Well, let's hear what you have to think, and
Okay.
I'll say.
This is what I think. And this is what I think based on the information that Bob Lazar has kind of given out and the technology that I mean, if you believe him or not, this is a total theory here.
Who is
but
that
if-
guy?
Bob Lazar?
Yeah.
Okay, so Bob Lazar, I guess we could, that's a whole separate topic that I guess that we could make a podcast about. That's really, really interesting.
Really?
But Bob Lazar is basically this guy who worked at Area S4,
Oh, okay.
which is, I think, a subsector of Area 51. And he was a scientist there. I think he worked there for a few months. And basically his job was to back engineer UFO technology that was recovered from the government. I think it was, I forget which department of the government, but either way, Bob Lazar worked there for a while. and some household issues came up that the government became aware of because they tapped his phone line. And so they didn't want someone with an unstable home environment to be working there, even though he didn't even know he had an unstable home environment.
Okay.
They knew before he did.
Interesting.
It was his wife ended up having an affair, and he didn't know about it, but the government did.
Okay.
And they didn't like that, so they fired him.
Okay. That's something in itself. When
That-
the government
yeah.
knows your wife's having an affair and you don't.
Yeah.
That
So there you go.
NSA is really stretching their legs
Yeah.
where they shouldn't be.
He gets fired. He doesn't know why. He is told, not to come back to work or whatever. And so he's like, you know what, screw it. I know when they're testing these things out. So I think he ended up taking a couple friends out into the desert. He knew that Wednesdays were the days where they did like low intensity maneuvers with these things.
Low intensity maneuvers on a Wednesday?
Yeah. Like low flying.
Like low passes?
I think so. I think that they would fly him over the mountain ranges.
Okay.
And
like what?
fly the UFOs, man.
Oh,
I guess I didn't go into that.
No, you didn't.
No, they have UFOs. I think I mentioned it. They had I think he said they had like almost a dozen. I think they had like 9.
Jeez.
And he was only designated to work on one, and it was very compartmentalized there.
Okay.
So he only worked on propulsion systems on this one aircraft. On this one, I guess you could say UFO aircraft.
Well, I guess it's not technically a UFO because it's identified.
Yeah.
So it's just an FO.
Just an FO.
Just
it's
an
a
FO.
flying object.
Yeah, but what kind of object was it?
He said it was exactly what the depictions of a flying saucer were.
So it's literally just a circle.
Literally a flying saucer. He has drawings of it on the internet you can look at, and he has drawings of what the reactor looked like that powered it.
Really?
And my theory is all based off of what this guy is talking about.
What's his last name?
My theory on how we could possibly travel in interstellarly. What?
What's his last name?
Bob Lazar. Lazar.
I got it.
So he ended up doing a bunch of interviews. I think it was the 80s. He came out with George Knapp, and he, kind of broke the ice on it. Gave a couple interviews. I don't think he spoke a lot about it for a long time. I think he wrote a book, maybe. Then he went on JRE not too long ago, a couple years ago, I think. And he kind of retold the whole thing. But he talked about the way that these craft were powered, something that there's no possible way that any human country or any human being could come up with this stuff and make it work. How the UFOs that he was working on were powered was by an element called Element 115.
Oh, like from Call of Duty Zombies, Element 115.
Is that on Call of Duty Zombies?
Yeah, but that's
what it's from.
That's the element that turns the zombies into zombies.
That's probably what it's from. They probably got it from that.
This drawing says at the bottom there were gravity amplifiers.
Yes, this is what I was telling you about earlier. So, Element 115 is kind of what he described as the fuel, if I'm not misquoting him here.
But isn't Element 15 so unstable that it just doesn't want to exist for more than nanoseconds?
I think that so that's interesting too. So he talked about Element 115 way back in the 80s, I think.
So when was it discovered?
And it wasn't discovered, I think, until 2012.
Really?
Yeah. I think it was, you can probably look that up. When was Element 115 discovered?
I'll look that up.
I think it was around 2012. So he had this predicted. And this is kind of why I trust the guy.
2003.
There's all kinds of stuff like that going on with him. He's been saying stuff for years.
That's
and
interesting.
it turns out to be true.
But
and he and you remember a couple of years ago, I think it was 2017, whenever the Pentagon released those videos of UFO. Well, they called them UAPs, I think, where the Navy fighter pilots had gotten videos of what they didn't know what they were, but they released them. There's a couple of those videos, but those videos directly depict what Bob Lazar was talking about in the 80s.
That's pretty crazy.
And those videos, I think the one was in the 90s, one was in the early 2000s,
Yeah.
one was 2016, maybe.
But like one thing you got to think of is like a lot of people like hear UFOs and like get all excited because it's like aliens and whatnot, but it's really just something that's in the sky flying that is unidentified. I mean,
Yeah.
like it doesn't have to be a flying saucer. It could literally just be a weather balloon, but they don't know it's a weather balloon.
Yeah, like UFO can be anything, I guess. But the thing about that, the
But
thing about Bob Lazar's story is
yeah,
there's no way that I was about to go into the propulsion systems, and there's no way that any human engineer has come up with these propulsion systems. So what they are, the way he's described it is they run off of what we were talking about, element 115, and basically it produces a gravity field rotated 180 degrees. So gravity that is, you know how gravity works, where it attracts
Yeah.
towards the mass.
yeah.
Well, what this does is it rotates that 180 degrees and it repels.
Is that even? Can that be backed by science? Like, is that
I
even?
mean, it makes sense scientifically, yes,
So
but
it
how it
does.
works does not make sense. I mean, I guess it makes sense that. I mean, I feel like that sounds so cutting edge that I don't even know. I have no idea. I'm kind of an idiot though.
Well, the
I mean, it makes logical sense to me, but I'm just a
oh yeah, it
I'm
makes
just
logical
a
sense.
guy.
I know what you mean. It makes
Yeah.
logical sense, but like, I don't understand why it's just in America. Like, why are there UFO? I've never heard of UFO
Well-
sightings from other countries.
I think that
And-
there's been some in Russia. I think I've heard of some in Russia.
Yeah, but the Russian government like isn't like. I feel like the American government is like supposedly hiding everything.
Well, who's to say that, you know, the Chinese government, the Russian government doesn't have these things as well?
Yeah, but that's one big secret that people have been keeping since like the 80s.
Yeah.
Like,
And it makes you
There's
think, like,
no
you think
way.
that the government is really that organized? Like, you think that these
yeah,
idiots can
there's-
keep this
there's-
stuff contained?
There's no way that the government. I mean, it has to be like a almost like a private branch of the government that is a part of the government, but it's like its own company, like kind
Yeah,
of how the CIA
it's-
was.
It's just super. I mean, I think the only way it could work is if it was, like Bob was saying, extremely, like, compartmentalized.
It would
He
have
only
to be.
worked with one guy.
It
And
would have to be.
that guy only worked with him.
Yeah,
So there was what he was saying, there was no progress while he was there because science doesn't work that way. Science doesn't compartmentalize.
yeah.
You progress in science by talking to
And
your peers
collaboration, yeah.
and, hey, I'm working on the propulsion system, you're working on the metallurgy.
yeah,
Maybe they have something to do with each other.
yeah, exactly.
But there's none of that. There's no talking, there's no asking questions. But as I was saying, kind of, this propulsion system, which is powered by element 115, it creates the gravity field rotated 180 degrees, and it basically what it does is it propels the craft, I guess, away from other things.
How do you control that?
Who knows, man?
That's
Who
really
knows? I
strange.
wish I knew. I don't think Bob knew.
Okay, I have another like, kind of
I think
major
he said you could
concern.
turn it on and off.
Yeah, well, I mean, if you're just turning it on and off, you're just gonna up, down, right?
Yeah, I mean,
I mean, maybe. If
they said they knew almost nothing.
yeah, I guess that's fair.
He explained it like you're dropping a motorcycle in Victorian age room with just, you know,
Yeah, okay.
Victorian age
Yeah, that's
scientists. They would, I think in his words, he said they would be able to, you know, take the fuel out, realize it doesn't work without the fuel, but would they be able to, like, engineer the plastic fender? No way.
Yeah, no way. No way a alchemist is gonna be able to understand
no way.
plastic.
So I think that if we do one day advance to interstellar travel, it'll be through something like that. It'll be through some type of gravitational machine
Yeah.
that can, like, kind of surf through space.
Okay. I can see where you're coming from. I don't understand why. Okay. So it says here that element 115 was first synthesized in 2003. I don't understand why. I feel like if we discover a new element, that is not something you can just keep from the world. Like that could
It's
like
not. It's right there.
well, I know, but because it's in past 2003. So if it was discovered in the 80s, why would they not release that? I feel like.
Well, I think that they hadn't made it.
What do
I'm
you
not
mean?
sure though. I'm not sure. I guess we could look it up, but I don't think that they had.
Realize it was a new element.
I guess like the scientific community didn't know it existed. Yeah.
But I feel like if you find something that's, I don't know. I just feel like if you
I
find
mean, if you
something that's,
if you discover that you can split an atom and make a massive explosion, it feels like it'd be a pretty big scientific discovery. But the government kept that under wraps.
I guess that's true. I would just think of like literally any element that, like, if we discover an element, it could cure cancer. Like,
I mean,
why
yeah, who
would
knows?
like no one knows? So like, if we discover something and it could cure like illnesses
Yeah.
of the human race, why would we keep that a secret? That
I wish they would. I hope that they're not keeping it secret.
Yeah.
I hope that this stuff. I mean, I hope it exists. I hope that all the UFO stuff really exists because I'm really interested in it. And there's like, I would love to see all these people that have these stories be proven right. But then at the same time, it's like I feel like you have to have an actual UFO experience in order to truly
Yeah.
believe it.
Well, okay. Here's my theory. If for intergalactical travel, intergalactic, planetary, intergalactic,
Intergalactic.
by the Beastie
planetary.
Boys. So it's I'm kind of ripping it from Interstellar, but it's a really good point. But it would have to assume that time is in a loop, a constant loop, like there is no beginning or end of time. So let's say, like in the movie, a wormhole opens up by Saturn, and then we travel through the wormhole. Because wormholes, like it wouldn't just like appear, like it would have to be, like only certain conditions would make it appear, like it wouldn't just appear randomly. So we go through the wormhole, find suitable, like a suitable planet for life, and then on that planet we like live out our life. We evolve as humans. We evolve to the point where we can control where wormholes appear, and we move across space time. Like we move across time.
Ah, I see where
So
you're going.
we place the wormhole back in time for the humans in the past to travel through and live, and then they evolve. But once they evolve and can move across space time and control where wormholes appear, they place a wormhole, and it's just like a loop like that.
That would kind of I mean, that kind of makes sense because if you think about it, wouldn't a loop be the same thing as like infinity? Like how time is limitless?
Yeah.
If it was a loop, then it would still be limitless, right?
Yeah. Because there would be no.
There's no beginning or end.
Yeah.
Like I always think of
like a circle.
infinity
There's
as
no
a
start of a circle.
linear thing.
Yeah,
like as
that's
like
why.
it goes on forever.
Yeah,
But like
numbers.
what if it's a loop?
Like 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 the number, like you can't count to infinity.
Yeah.
But what if it's just a loop? And
Yeah,
you,
what if
and
it
what if
eventually you
one
get back
is
to
not,
1?
Yeah, what if 1 is not, or 0 is not the starting point? Because
Dude.
there's negative. It's -1 because so infinity runs backwards too.
Yeah,
So you can have a
yeah, there's
negative
infinity.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So that would mean it would have to be a loop
Yeah.
because there would be no start on either sides.
Jeez.
So why can't that apply to time? Why is
That's
time?
true.
Why is it not time that's in
mean,
a loop?
The only weird thing about time is that we have no way of going backwards. Like
That we know
that
of.
we know of.
That we know of.
But like even I'm pretty sure that even like the theory of relativity and how like time dilation works, I still don't think that accounts for going backwards. I think that you still can only go forwards, just at really, really, really slow paces.
Yeah, I guess that's true. But it's kind of like one of those things like, I
Yeah,
mean,
but maybe we haven't discovered it
yeah,
yet.
like alchemists and living in their little mud hut would never even imagine that we're speaking into microphones that are recording on a laptop right now. They would think it's literally impossible.
Yeah.
What if it's just the same thing?
Dude,
what if like
who knows?
billions of years in the future when we're living in like what's another galaxy name? We're not living in this galaxy.
Andromeda.
Yeah, what if we're living in Andromeda and we are able to cross space-time and we're able to go back in time and we're like, I can't believe that we used to speak into microphones, recording on a computer, when we literally just think to people that are galaxies away and they can understand us.
God, bro.
We can
that is
broadcast our
freaking me
thoughts
out.
to everyone across the entire universe,
Like, that's freaking me out.
and then they just think it's normal. Like, the amount of technology we take for granted, that if we went back 30 years, is insane.
Yeah, dude. And 30 years is
3D
not
printing
even half
30
a
years
human
ago,
life.
dude. 3D
Dude.
printing 30 years ago.
Imagine what we're going to be doing whenever we're like 50 years old.
That's what I'm saying. Like,
gonna be
technology is exponentially
insane.
increasing. So just
Yeah.
because the theory of relativity, like, it doesn't mean that it's 100% true. It's a
Yeah.
theory. It's the theory of relativity, not the law of relativity.
Yeah.
And
Dude.
even laws, I mean, I don't even, like, people say laws can't be broken. Like, that's why it's a law. But I, like Isaac's law, whatever. Like,
The, you know,
yeah.
Newton's laws.
Yeah, Newton's laws. I still feel like maybe it can be disproven.
In certain places, like,
Yeah.
the center of a black hole. I don't
Yeah.
know.
Yeah, like, why? Maybe those laws only account for Earth, but, like, I feel like we just don't know. Like, we literally cannot be certain about anything in our entire lives. So how do we know that we can't go back in time? How do we know that we can't reach other galaxies? How do we know
don't,
that?
man? And that's kind of like the pain of humanity.
Yeah.
Is like we are only here if we only pop in and pop out.
Yeah.
Like we don't know what happened before us. In all reality, I mean, we have ideas of what happened before us, but we don't really know.
Okay. I just had a thought. What if the Earth, like before it was the Earth that we know today, humans from the future lived there, they went extinct, and then only microorganisms lived there, but microorganisms evolved, and then eventually we got mammals, and then eventually we get primates, and then we get humans.
Dude.
What if it's just a cycle?
Like,
What if it's just a cycle?
or like maybe like in the past, like lizards. Like lizards were like king, bro.
Yeah.
Like I guess kind of like dinosaurs, but they evolved even longer.
Yeah.
And maybe they just like discovered intergalactic travel, and these freaking lizard people took off, left us all behind, all the other little organisms that hadn't evolved yet.
Exactly.
And then up comes the mammals.
Yeah. Now
Mammals
now
were
it's our
second
turn.
place.
It's our turn to get out of here.
Yeah, bro. Mammals are. Yeah.
There's
Now we
really-
gotta work our butts off to do some intergalactic travel, and
There's
then
really no
what do you
telling.
think's coming up next? What do you think? I'm thinking.
After intergalactic travel?
No, I mean, yeah. Who's up next? Like after
Oh.
we leave?
I don't know. Maybe the birds.
I mean, it kind of depends on how the world ends.
Guess that's true.
Because like,
Again,
if the world like,
something we can't. You don't know for certain.
yeah, it kind of goes back to the beginning. The sun's gonna eat us, and I don't think anything's gonna survive that.
Guess that's true. But we don't know.
We don't.
We don't know if there's microorganisms that can survive. I mean, before the Earth had an atmosphere, there were microorganisms in the sea.
Yeah.
So
Man.
eating chemical soup at the bottom of the ocean, and
Yeah.
they're like, "Oh, dude, I'm gonna go up and eat sunlight.
Yeah,
then they were like,
dude.
I'm gonna produce
That
oxygen."
warm, cozy sunlight.
Yeah,
And then here we are sitting at a desk.
Yeah,
Sitting at a desk with iPhones.
but like, listen, they come up to the surface and they start eating light, and then they produce oxygen, and then that's when the atmosphere like is created. That could 100% be a loop. When a star burns out, can it be replaced? Like how do stars form? Do we know that
I
yet?
think that stars form in I think it's called a nebula.
Okay,
I need to let's look that up.
Yeah, look that
Fact
up.
check me on that.
You look that up. I'm gonna go drink water.
All right, what's a nebula? Nebula is a distinct body of interstellar clouds.
Yes, gases form stars. Gases form stars. A collection of
Yeah,
gases.
like but I think that might
right.
a nebula. I think that's. Where did I read that? I read that like there's like some place and they're called something. It's like where stars are born.
Oh yeah.
Where are stars born? Yeah, I think it's just clouds of dust and gas.
So who's to say?
Yeah,
before-
Orion Nebula. Here's an example.
So who's to say before our star formed, there wasn't another one, and then there's just a cycle of life on Earth all the time.
Yeah, like
we legitimately
Yeah.
don't know.
it's just like Earth's just one of those places where life kind of pops in and pops out.
Yeah.
But
the
it
Ice
means that
Age.
there has to be more. It means that there has to be more.
So Mars very well could be another one of those planets.
that just
there's
here's
just
my
no, there's
theory.
like there may be life that we haven't discovered, but like come 50 million years, there's gonna be, well, probably like 300 million years, there's gonna be walking animals on Mars.
Yeah, that, or like maybe Mars is the ghost town of what used to be.
Yeah.
Because I mean, there's water there. There's water
That's
there,
true.
and so
It's
what
frozen
happens
water,
as
though.
a planet ages? It gets colder. It loses its atmosphere.
Yeah.
And I think Mars is kind of a good example of what a rocky planet that used to harbor life would look like after millions and millions of years. It has a thin atmosphere, gets cold because of it, and maybe the right now, this is just a theory, I'm an idiot. Maybe the Goldilocks zone is moving. It used to be out at Mars,
Maybe.
and now it's just kind of coming in as the hydrogen, like we said, is
Maybe
depleting. So the
Venus will
Goldilocks
be
zone is going to
next.
come in. Maybe one day we're going to have Mercury and Venus
Yeah.
harboring life. What if,
It's
bro?
true.
What if?
I mean, because like people think that the atmosphere and the conditions are uninhabitable on Mercury and Venus. But that's just like to life that we have now. That
Yeah.
doesn't mean that, like, I mean, maybe someone has like proven me wrong by saying like there's no way any sort of life ever could ever live there. But there has to be some sort of form of life that has like that can adapt to what they have, like the hand they've been dealt,
Yeah.
and then they can live there.
Maybe. Dude, this is deep.
I know.
What if we've already gone intergalactic, and we're just the product of some type of, I don't know, you could call it a simulation or a thought or a neural connection. What if we are just the neural processes of our like future selves? Like what if, not really future, but of our more developed selves? What
So-
if we are already there and we are just like kind of like a look back in the past,
Okay.
but a very real one? It feels real to us.
So like, I see what you mean. So it's just like a thought.
Yeah.
Like,
Like what if we're just a
higher being
memory
selves?
of what we used to be? What if we've already gone to other stars and we've already like figured out a way to survive forever
It's true.
as a species?
Another thought on that. What if we have like found a way to live forever? What if we become gods? Like actually become gods?
Like we can't die,
Like,
or
we
we can create
evolve.
life.
Like we evolve into what
Like
people,
our definition of what
Yeah,
a god would
yeah,
be.
humans'
So someone that
representation of
can
God.
create its
Yeah.
own life.
So like what if we just evolve to the point where we can create matter? We can destroy
Yeah,
matter.
like create and destroy matter,
Yeah.
and like, okay, I see what you're saying,
like
dude.
maybe
Yeah.
God,
Like,
maybe
what if
God's
what
just
if
an
we've
evolved human.
evolved to that point, and now we just created little versions of
Yeah.
ourselves?
What if God's just an evolved, or like it doesn't even have to be human? Like what if God's just like an evolved species
Yeah.
that has? Oh, okay. I'm sure this is some sort of like TV show or movie or like
A Black
comic
Mirror
or
episode.
something. Oh, what?
Black Mirror episode.
What is Black Mirror?
You never seen Black Mirror?
No.
I haven't seen it either, but I've heard all about it. I just figured you'd heard about it. It's just a show of like, it's almost like what's that old school show that was like scary?
Twilight
Almost
Zone.
so, like every episode was like
Twilight Zone.
Twilight Zone.
Yeah,
It's
yeah.
almost like a modern Twilight
Oh,
Zone.
okay. I'll check that out. But what if higher beings, like gods, are just evolved species that can create and destroy matter, and they each traveled to different galaxies and created life to give themselves purpose? What if that is their purpose? Like, what if they were a higher species that evolved, and they found out that their purpose, because they can create and destroy matter, is to give life? And what
Dude.
if think about this? Polytheism, the belief of many gods. What if they're just other higher species, and they just came in and stopped and said hi? Because no one really believes in polytheism now. What if, like, back when the Egyptians were around and they believed in polytheism, it was just multiple higher beings here?
That would kind of make sense. That all kind of ties in because they used to always paint pictures of UFOs coming down and talking to them.
And they were just
what
gods.
if that was just...
They're just gods.
That was just alternate, highly advanced,
some
even human, like separate...
some sort of species.
Yeah, some sort of life. Some sort of intelligence, of consciousness that communicated with us in that time. And, like, people started just immediately worshiping. They're like, holy crap, bro.
I mean, I would too.
Like,
I would too.
Yeah. Especially if you're back then. Like, you haven't even seen a plane before.
You haven't even seen, like, an iPhone.
Yeah, I
mean, you haven't even drank McDonald's Sprite yet.
You haven't seen, like, I mean, I don't really know how advanced the Egyptians were, but you haven't even seen, like, I don't know. You haven't seen crap if you're an Egyptian.
Like, this is true. They were kind of advanced.
But maybe the Egyptians were way more advanced than we think. Like, I mean, they did build some pyramids, bro.
Or did
those
the gods build the pyramids?
Yeah, that's where it all comes down to the aliens.
I guess that's a true question.
Yeah.
But
we get into that on a whole another day.
I mean, that also makes you think, like, how advanced the Romans were. What if the Romans were helped by the gods, by these highly advanced species too?
Yeah.
What if it's our turn? What if we will be helped, like, you know, cause, like, our age will be helped, or, like, miracles from God? What if that is, like, the same thing? Like, what if it's the higher being helping us out?
Yeah, like, what if they're coming in and they're like, you guys are taking too long. Here's
a wormhole.
Yeah, here's a wormhole. Here's a
wormhole right by Mars. Just go through that, figure it out.
Yeah.
And find another planet. You guys are taking way too long.
Yeah. They come down that here's let's stop that cancer thing. Here.
Yeah, that's
no more cancer for you guys. Here. Let's get this show on the road. Or they come down, they're like, yeah, here's how you split an atom.
What? Hey, maybe.
Right at the right time. They're like, here's Albert Einstein for you.
Yeah. What if God made Albert Einstein?
Yeah.
Just for that sole reason. Yeah. And then he saw us using the atom bombs on each other, and he was like, dude, what are you doing?
Yeah, let's go back down there. This. Yeah.
Let's figure this out.
Let's just show them what we got. Let's swarm their aircraft carriers and just show them what we got.
Like, I guess that's true.
That's crazy. Like, that's what I was talking about. Commander Fravor was one of the people who got the UFOs on video that I was talking about earlier. In the U.S., I think he was in the Navy.
They're just the gods giving us a little inspiration.
Yeah, bro. They're just coming down and showing off for us.
Poke with a stick, saying, "Come on now, kicking tires."
Yeah, I think that we'll get, if we don't get taken out by, I say our biggest threats are volcanic activity and asteroid impact.
Yeah, like.
I mean, we're in a shooting gallery, man. There are meteor, or what are they called? What are they called whenever?
Meteor showers?
What's it?
Meteor showers?
No, not
asteroid belts?
Yeah. What are they called? There was one in Fortnite, bro.
What?
Yeah, there was one in Fortnite.
Supernova?
No, it's not a meteorite. It's like called something else. What's it called whenever it just flies by? It's called something.
Shooting star?
No.
What are you talking about?
Not a meteorite.
What flies by?
An asteroid, maybe? I don't know. Either way, one of those things slams into Earth, we're done. What?
What's the difference between a comet, asteroid, and meteorite?
Comet, bro.
That's what it is.
Comet. That's the right
comet,
word.
Yeah.
Comets.
So comets don't make contact with the Earth. Meteorites make contact with the Earth.
I think
asteroids.
In order to be that's a good question. I want to know the difference in those definitions. Like an asteroid, a comet, and a meteorite.
Well, look it up.
So all I do know is that we are, like, surrounded by comets, man. And if one of those things hit us, we're done.
Okay, a meteoroid enters the Earth's atmosphere and burns up. Asteroid orbits the sun
and just kind of flies by.
Comet is okay, so it's what it's made of. A meteor doesn't make contact. It enters the Earth's atmosphere but burns up. An asteroid is rocky and orbits the sun, has an average size between a meteorite and a planet. Jesus.
Yeah,
A comet is made of mostly ice and dust with a gas halo and tail. Sometimes it orbits the
Okay.
sun.
Yes. So maybe I'm thinking of an asteroid then. Either
Yo,
way, big old rock slams into Earth. That's not good for life.
that's true.
Neither is spewing a bunch of volcanic ash into the atmosphere and causes us to go into a
Yeah.
winter, like
And
an
just
ice age, basically.
covering the sun, yeah. Well,
Yeah, not good. Yeah. So I think that's going to take us out. And if we don't get taken out by one of them, we got a long time.
yeah, I think.
How
we
long
got
do
a
you
long
think,
time.
though, man? I mean, if at the rate of technology right now, I think
I mean, it is exponential.
it
It's
is so.
crazy.
I mean, it would probably surprise
like
you.
10 years is
if
crazy.
we could like
We
run a
have-
simulation of like, okay, let's eliminate all external threats. No viruses,
Yeah.
no like nuclear war,
Exactly.
no volcanoes, no asteroids.
Well,
I would like to see how long it would take. Just
I don't know, because that's tricky. Because when we get into wars, when we develop the most technology, when we have the
Yeah.
most innovation, because we're trying to destroy the other enemy, or the enemy,
yeah.
so that we progress technologically faster. So if we just had a whole bunch of Cold Wars,
Yeah.
it's good.
Yeah, but like that just.
I mean, we're probably about to enter in-
like that facilitates like nuclear war so hard though.
I know. I mean, it's a scale. It's a
Yeah, it's
type-
hard. Dude, humanity is.
Yeah.
It's hard to read.
Well, we're a little bit past an hour. I think it's time to wrap it up.
Yeah, I say we wrap it up. I don't know. I say we wrap it up by giving our guesstimates.
Guess
When we think that
Okay.
we're gonna make it, we're gonna go to another star.
All
And,
right.
Hey, who knows? This communication might fly out into the universe one day and smack into an alien, and it'll say, "Dang, they were right."
Man.
Maybe here in
Pretty-
like a
pretty
couple
on the
million years,
nose.
they're like, "Dang, they got it right."
Yeah.
Let's see. I'm gonna say, at the rate that we're going, with no natural disasters or major wars that
Okay.
wipe us out,
Yeah.
I'm gonna give us 2,000 years.
2,000
2,000 years, and we're going to other stars.
So by 4020.
Yeah, 4020. That's the year.
Interesting. Yeah, that's it.
Or I mean, 4022.
Well, yeah,
We're gonna be
yeah. But 4020s is what I meant to say.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
What do you think?
Okay. So the Earth is supposedly about 4.5 billion years old, and the technology we've created is getting exponentially faster. They thought that we'd have flying cars in the 60s by now. We don't. So I'm going to guess, based on that one sole fact alone,
Mm-hmm.
I'm going to guess like maybe take us like 100,000 years.
100,000?
100,000, 200,000 years.
Okay. Yeah, I mean, it's really a shot in the dark.
I mean,
Who knows?
I need background information. How long is the Earth's atmosphere going to last us?
I guess it just depends. I mean, if we, I don't know. I feel like if we don't do anything to it, or if we don't, like,
Okay.
I don't know, no volcanic eruptions or anything, I say we'd hold on to it for a while.
Wikipedia says 4 billion years.
4 billion? Okay. Yeah. 4 billion, bro? 4 billion? We're good. Atmosphere's good.
Okay, this is deoxygenation process could take as few as 10,000 years.
Hmm. Well,
or a little,
hopefully my estimate's right in
dumb.
that case then.
yeah.
Well, guys, it's been good.
Yeah.
A good first episode.
Good first
Man,
episode.
we really got into it.
Yeah.
Fun. That is totally a conversation that we would just be having if we were sitting here on our
Yeah,
computers.
of course. So next week is bracket week.
Yeah, we got
Next
bracket
week is
week
bracket
coming up
week.
next week. And I think we mentioned we're posting on Fridays, right?
I don't know. Well, we're posting on Fridays.
We'll try to.
Yeah, we're gonna try to post every Friday. Record on Monday, post on Friday.
Cool.
Yeah. So tune in next week for the Keanu Reeves, John character brackets.
Yeah.
We'll see who wins. It may not be John Wick.
Who
You
knows,
know,
man?
although that's what
I haven't
everyone's
seen
gonna say.
any of them, so it's gonna be
I
totally
get to
new for
school
me.
you.
But here's the question. Leave them hanging a little bit here. What are we gonna have them do? Are we gonna have them fight?
Oh,
We're gonna have them
that's
play
true.
pool. We're gonna.
I think this would be a good one to have him fight.
I think we have him fight. I mean, that's his whole character.
Yeah, I mean he's an action movie star.
Cool.
All right.
All right. So who's gonna win out of all the what's his name?
Keanu Reeves characters named John.
Named John.
All right.
All right, guys.
Until
Good
next time.
talking to you. Good talking to you, Devin.
Yes,
Good.
sir. See ya.
See ya.